get you out of this like preciousness, I think. I think a lot of writers are very like precious with their work and don't want to actually write things. Like just as a producer, I notice with a lot of writers is like they'd rather talk about something for way more time than it would take them to just write it.
The glory in what I do is the fact that it starts with a blank piece of paper.
Taking a break, Mom.
It's like this every night, Jean. You fiddle-faddle your time away. It's a wonder to me you ever get anything done. Always putting things off until the last minute.
You're breaking my concentration. You're distracting me. And it will then take me time to get back to where I was.
Today, I'm going to teach you how to write a great film. And by the end of this video, you're going to be writing something amazing. I'm Marcus Flemings. I'm an award-winning filmmaker and writer. Freedom! So far, I've made 6 feature films, all penned by myself.
God damn!
But enough about me. These are my 7 tips for writing a great screenplay. Idea. This is a nebulous of everything. Your whole life should revolve around your idea. There are 2 types of original ideas. One where you draw from your own experiences, and one where you think of an original experience. One that you've never had. Now, a master screenwriter tends to merge both seamlessly. Now, this is a hard task, and if you're a new writer, it might be best for you to avoid that at this stage. My first ever screenplay as a 16-year-old was about a bank robbery that goes wrong. Original, dude. Now, as a 16-year-old, I had not robbed a bank.
There's no money here.
Surprisingly. And surprisingly, or less so, the script didn't sell.
Get the fuck out!
Now, the fact that it didn't sell had nothing to do with the fact that I hadn't robbed the bank and therefore could not write about it. It was more to do with the fact that I was 16 and just winging it. I had no idea about writing and I did no research apart from watching other movies about other bank robberies and copying just everything, just literally everything. My first screenplay that was actually turned into a feature film was 6 Rounds. Now, this was drawn from my own experiences. It was focused on the 2011 riots in London. So I wrote a story about a young black boxer who he was split between his roots and being a middle-class citizen. It was the first instance in my writing that I can truly say that I took a bit of my real-life experiences and put it into a screenplay, and it paid off. However, to get to this point took me about 20 screenplays. I wrote 20 screenplays before I even got a sniff of what I had to do to become a better writer. Which leads to point 2, get it down. This should really be point 1, get it down. If you have an idea, if you have a line of dialogue, if you have a random thought, get it down. Remember, it's all practice. Even if you don't use it, write it down. I cannot tell you the number of times I've written down a line of cool dialogue or a random idea that I've borrowed from in a later screenplay and just repurposed it months or years later. I write it down on paper, I write it down on my phone, I send a WhatsApp message to my other phone. I get it down. Most importantly, procrastination is the devil in you, and it will end your dreams.
Busy my foot. You just put it off like you always do.
Jim, blaming Jean isn't going to help now.
I know, but I'm going to tell Jean something she should have been told a long time ago. Now listen, Jean. It's okay with me if you get your homework in at the last minute. That's your business. But when you ruin the whole class party just because you keep putting things off, none of us like it.
It will be the death of you. Get it down.
That's how winning is done.
Revisit. Okay, so you've written down your original and unoriginal idea. You think it's the best idea ever. Maybe you've even begun to write it. It's still the best idea ever. Now, stop. I want you to stop. So it's been a few days. You've come back to the idea and it's still burning at you. It's still fresh in your mind. It's still kind of grabbing you.
Never confuse shit with chocolato. They may look the same, but the taste very different. Trust me.
There's a burning desire to get it finished. If so, move on to the next step. If not, it's back to step 1 you go. Write it down. This links so heavily into step 2. Write it out. Mistakes, errors, bad grammar, bad spelling, everything. Get it all on the page. The quicker you get it out there, the better. It's really no use to you being in your own head.
Swear to me!
Once on paper, or a tablet, or your phone, or a laptop, you can really start to mold it. Just tidying it up. Adding, removing, whatever you choose. Refine. Now here's the thing I love the most, and also conversely the thing I hate the most. Refining. That feeling when you've finished a piece of work, whether it be a screenplay or a novel, is beautiful. But then reality sinks in. It's far from finished. One of my latest features, Reach, which was acquired for distribution by Gravitas Ventures, had no fewer than 8 drafts. 8 thorough drafts. Once I finish a piece, I will then go through it over and over and over again, peeling away all that fat, all that grime, looking for logistical errors, looking for spelling mistakes, grammar errors. Maybe I renamed a character in draft number 3, and in draft number 5, that character's name is still there. Your first draft is a beautiful thing, but remember, you need to shape it after that. Now, everyone has that really honest person in their lives that they try and avoid as much as possible. Some days you just want to dwell in your own majesty. You don't want to hear about how many little quirks and irks and little truths that you may have. This is where that person comes in handy. Send them the screenplay. Get them to read it. They will tear it apart. Now, this doesn't mean that they're right. It doesn't mean your screenplay is bad. But it does mean that you need to find the biting points in your piece where you can improve, justify, or ignore. Use your instinct. To let their brutal judgment be the end of your work, take it on the shoulder and refine again. Wow! Perfection. Perfection does not exist. Remember that. There are some screenplays, Casablanca, Groundhog Day, All About Eve, that are near, close to perfection. Now think about how many films there have ever been since day one. 99% of them are not anywhere near perfect.
You are tearing me apart, Lisa!
And you know what? A lot of them have turned out to be good films. Now think about some of the stuff that's been greenlit recently. The absolute crap that's making it into your cinemas. Your screenplay does not need to be perfect. It needs to be in a place where you are 100% happy with it. If you manage to sell your screenplay, it will be pulled apart, edited, reworked again by some studio executives, so bear this in mind.
Hey, one second. Is that Mark?
Actually, Marcus?
Anyway, shut up.
Okay.
I got your screenplay. It's a hell of a screenplay.
Amazing. Who do you think
Yeah,
is
it's nice.
the lead
Anyway,
role?
listen, we're gonna tear it apart. You haven't got any qualms with that, have you?
I mean, I would prefer
Great.
if you...
How's that wife of yours, anyway? Say hello for me.
I don't have a wife, So there we have it. 7 key points for you getting your screenplay finished. Most importantly, if you are, stop procrastinating. You might be sitting on one of the best screenplays ever written. Let's face it, you probably are. So get writing.
Can you see how procrastination affected Gene?
I would love if you could subscribe, like, comment, share, whatever. That would be incredible. It really helps with the algorithm. If you do need any advice, you do have any questions, do hit me up in the comments. I will reply.